Okay, we're back, guys, and we have an interview with Kim Stagliano. So let's check her out. Literally. No, she's married.
Okay, so today we're going to talk to Kim Stagliano, who is the mother of 3 daughters. All 3 fall on the autism spectrum, which is amazing. And even though she won't say it's amazing, she wrote this wonderful book called All I Can Handle, I'm No Mother Teresa, and talks about your trials and tribulations doing those things. So tell us, I mean, obviously you knew it was interesting enough to write a book.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to go ahead and do it?
I really didn't want to do it for a long time. Over the years, people had said, you really should write a book, and my instinct was, no, there's no way I'm writing a book. A, I don't want to relive every minute, and B, who on earth would want to read it? But over time, my agent talked to enough editors who said, she has a story, so why don't you find a way for her to tell it? And we decided humor was the way to go, because the spoonful of sugar approach makes a topic that could be fairly grim be much more approachable, as you well know, Zach, with your humor. And I like to say you won't need a Prozac to read it. So I think that's really important.
That is very important.
It could be incredibly depressing. It's a tough topic.
So how old were your daughters? Now I know the first 2 were diagnosed.
Yep.
And then you found out a month later that you were going to have a 3rd child.
Yes.
So that had to be a lot of news to swallow in 30 days.
It was. The timing was interesting. Mark and I moved from Philadelphia to Cleveland in 1999, and Mia and Gianna, we knew they had issues. They were both in early intervention, and we got their diagnosis in November of 1999 at University Hospitals in Cleveland, and it wasn't a shock, but it was still a blow. You know, there's a difference. We weren't surprised, but it's still like, oh, really? Okay, well, now we know we need to move forward. And we really thought about, having 4 kids, maybe 5. Can you imagine? No, really, no, like, oh, to be young again. And we said, no, we really ought to rethink altogether. And then that was November of 99, and if you recall that old Prince song, We're Gonna Party Like It's 1999, well, we had neighbors who had a New Year's Eve party in 1999, and we took advantage of the song, and round about February, I found myself, honest to God, I mean, a 3rd baby, and I was still so stupid. I found myself at Panera, like, shoving bagels with cream cheese and guzzling milk into my mouth, and then running to Taco Bell as soon as it opened. And I realized, hey, this is highly unusual. Maybe I'm pregnant. And actually, I still didn't really know. And I stepped out of the shower, and Mark took a look at me, and I didn't really look like me. I looked more like the me he kind of probably wishes I was in a certain area. Yes. And he took one look at me out of the shower, and he said, you are so pregnant.
Ah, yes.
I think I am.
That is a telling sign.
It was.
That is a telling sign.
It comes and goes, unfortunately.
So what do you think blessed you to have all of your children on the spectrum?
I think we've got some very strange genetic underpinning. My kids have mitochondrial dysfunction. We've had extensive testing at the Cleveland Clinic, and with a doctor there named Dr. Marvin Natevich, who was a neurometabolic geneticist. And my kids definitely all 3 show metabolic differences that aren't off the charts, but are significant enough to notice, and are probably the biochemical underpinning for whatever has, lit the fire, triggered the fire under them.
Yep. Okay, I understand.
Yep.
Wow, that is something. So in the book, your house floods?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have enough to deal with. You don't have enough to deal with.
Well, no, we talk about part of what the book is about. Definitely it has the autism flavor to it because of the kids, although it could be really any diagnosis. The book is really a look at a life that's very different from what you expected. And my husband lost his job, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And as the economy changed, and we ended up renting a house in Connecticut where we live now. And sure enough, one morning we woke up, it was right before Christmas a couple of years ago, and we had a major flood, and the sump pump died, and kaboom, all of our stuff that was in storage was destroyed in a flood. So, I keep waking up for the day the frogs start falling out of the sky. What else?
Well, one thing that people, I think, have a tendency to forget that you're going through all these things, and you life doesn't stop, and regular typical life doesn't stop happening to you because you receive these blows.
Right.
And I think you do a fantastic job of talking about that in the book.
Life can be very different than what you dreamt or expected as a little girl or a little boy, and still be very good. You know, we're happy. You know, I'm not medicated. I'm at least not prescription-wise.
Okay, so as any good host should do, I Googled you.
Oh.
And when I Googled you,
I thought I felt something tickly. It's nice.
And when I Googled you, I found this article. I just want to show you.
Oh, what is it?
This article, and it's called Cougar Kim. Look at that. Cougar Kim.
Yeah.
It says, mother to 3 daughters on the autism spectrum and sassy-mouthed autism activist Kim Stagliano is rumored to be dating teen sensation Zack and Nicci. Zack has a brother with autism, and he too is a quick-witted activist. But are these two funnies really dating? Their flirt tweets seem to poke that way, but it also is rumored that Kim is married. And Zack claims to be dating himself. Quote, I am happily in love with myself. It is the best way to know my lover will never cheat on me, Zack writes on his public Facebook page.
Yes,
so are the rumors true? Is it a secret affair? At this point, who knows? Maybe one of them will reveal it in an upcoming tell-all book. As for right now, they both have books out. Kim, or as Zack is allowed to refer to her as Kimberly, has a book out titled All I Can Handle, I'm No Mother Teresa, and Zack has Charity Bites, The Untold Stories of the Dog-Eat-Dog World of Autism Activism. Both books on sale right now. Maybe they'll drop some hints in the books, so go buy them. What do you respond to that?
A cougar never kisses and tells.
And we will leave it at
Does that make me, like, to me more? Can I get me more, please?
Only if Zack gets to be Ashton and we do this show forever.
I'll be Ashton if I can have his money.
You heard.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much,
You're
Kim.
welcome. Thank you.
Please, All I Can Handle, I'm No Mother Teresa. This book, talk about a work in progress. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm not sure yet. We're working on the next. The paperback is coming out in the fall, and the paperback will have additional chapters and or information in it, and a Q&A that you can
Will
use
any of
for
this
book
be revealed
clubs.
in it?
Don't know. We'll see. There may be some scandalous photos.
That's a really good picture of you.
It's a lovely picture.
I think that is...
Isn't there some age rule about double the age, add a decade?
Right.
I'm not sure.
Which I'll be glad when I'm no longer double Zack's age. At some point we'll get there. That is not today.
She thinks. She's not going to stop aging. Alright, can we... Since you're one of our favorite guests, and since I'm dating you, we have this for you. It's like Make Our Vaccine Screen.
Oh,
and
thank
then
you.
It has a little sexy butt tag.
Awesome.
For you.
Love it.
You can
Where's my next
you can tell your
kickboxing
husband, be
class?
like, what does my back say, honey?
Exactly.
Sort of like read my lips, but
yes. And
read
then
my backside.
you've read this because you wrote the foreword for
Yeah.
it, but
It's
here's
awesome.
a
Oh, thank you
paper
very
and I have to
much.
sign that
Yay.
for you.
Please
and
do.
for those of you out there that are thinking that is total shameless self-promotion, you're absolutely right. It is. So buy them.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, it's your show. You can do that.
You can.
It's a perk.
Absolutely.
We are now going to head to a book signing that Kim has in Pasadena, California.
Yay.
And we are out.
Bye.
Bye.
3 daughters with autism.
Please buy her
1,
book.
2, 3, 5. It's actually it is a really good book. I read it and I was just like, oh my gosh, how much can one woman handle? It was, I mean, her house floods and she loses one kid in Disney World. And
Yes,
it's
yes.
just,
And anybody who, I mean, just the roller coaster ride you take with her in this book is just...
absolutely.
Whew.
And I just love the way she closes it. She's just like, you know what?
That's my life.
It's my life.
It's my life.
What can I do? Like Nikki says, day by day.
One day at a time.
By day by day by day. Sometimes minute by minute.
You heard?
Alright, so our closing song today is No Rules by Barracks Alexander, and it is also off Acoustics for Autism. You can check them out at www.acousticsforautism.org, and you can buy the song on iTunes now. Thanks for watching.
Walking away from all the angry words and things that frustrate. and moving to a higher place. New state of mind, one where we can find the time to laugh and love again. Darling, it's so easy.